Hey, what's happening out there, everyone? It's WrestleMania Monday, I think. And you know what that means. Time for another jam-packed episode of ABW Detonate right here on YouTube. I am the old school AB, being joined once again by the Bard of the Boiler Room, the Deacon of Destrucity, the Pontiff of Pain himself, one and only, Kind Man. How you doing today, buddy?
I am doing excellent. Excellent.
How you feeling after WrestleMania weekend?
I feel pretty good. I think it was a good show.
I do too. I have to agree with you on that. I think it was a worthwhile production. If this is any indication of how the quote Paul Levesque era is going to turn out, then count me in.
Well, can I tell, as first order of business for Triple H, can I make
Absolutely. Make an announcement.
Observation?
Sure, yeah.
Can he fucking teach people how to do a pedigree? The pedigree is turned into an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
They don't hook the arms. They just flail. Sometimes their face doesn't even hit the mat. Like it's the worst move in all of wrestling, and now everyone does it.
Yeah, well, that's why Triple H is the master at it, because he's the only one who can connect it fully.
Right.
And that's why, other wrestlers can't get pinfalls on it, because they're not Triple H. I digress. But, wrestling logic aside, we want to start off today, and we're going to cover WrestleMania here in just a bit. But I want to start off today and just talk about something. We don't really talk about news here a lot on this channel, and with good reason, because we're not a news channel. I don't break news. Kind Man doesn't break news. We're not investigative journalists. We're just two fans who enjoy the product, So that being said, I have to bring it up because it's coming up later this week, but AEW is going to air CCTV footage of CM Punk's altercation with Jungle Boy at All In from Wembley Stadium last year. And this is no doubt a direct response to an interview that CM Punk did 1 week ago, where he more or less took AEW to task. He took Tony Khan to task on a number of issues, primarily their mission statement. He said that Tony Khan was not a real boss, and that AEW's only goal was to put on good matches, which, there's nothing wrong with that, but, in and of itself, the goal was never to turn any kind of a profit or do business on any level. And I get that, maybe that's right and maybe it's not right, but that's not for me to decide. I'll get more into the matches later for the sake of the matches for the show, but my point being that Tony is all miffed that Punk went on to the press and said mean and hurtful things. So now, as a way to retaliate, Khan is going to show this footage. And this is where we are in professional wrestling, everyone. The year 2024, one night removed from the biggest WrestleMania event of all time, and this clown wants to go starting shit. So, I hope that you guys out there do the same thing that I do. I'm going to reserve judgment until after I see it, but I can tell you right now, I don't think this is necessary. I think it's childish and petty and stupid, and it has no place on a wrestling program, period. If I was CM Punk, I'd be flattered, actually, that they're still using my likeness and my name to pop a rating. But that's maybe a story for another time. And I'll save more on that next time, because I'm going to do my AEW State of the Union next week, along with Kind Man's top 5 high flyers. Don't miss that episode. Don't go anywhere for that one, folks. But right now, I just want to ask you, do you have any thoughts on that at all, Kind Man, before we move on?
I think I'll reserve judgment until I see what the clip shows.
Yeah.
Like, is it incriminating in any way? Is it just normal backstage stuff?
Yeah.
Or is it something that, obviously it's got to paint Punk in some sort of negative light, or they wouldn't even show it.
Do you know what happened backstage, by the way? Are you aware or privy?
I do not.
Okay. So just to quickly recap or catch people up who may not know, at Wembley Stadium, the opening match, or I guess the pre-card match, was a Jungle Boy match with, and I can't even remember who he was wrestling now. It's so insignificant to me. But they wrestled a match at Wembley Stadium, and they brought a real car onto the stage to use as a wrestling prop. And Jungle Boy, a.k.a. Jack Perry, basically went through the windshield and broke the glass on the windshield of the car, which has been done 100 times. But this was an iteration where Jungle Boy went to the camera and mugged to the camera during the match and said, "See real glass," or something to that effect. Now, the backstory of that is, weeks prior, Jungle Boy wanted to do a spot that involved real glass in a car. And everybody in the company told him, you shouldn't do it. That's a bad idea. You know, vehicle glass is not fun. You don't mess with it. You know, if you can avoid it at all costs, do it, because, you know, think about what happened to Bill Goldberg. He nearly lost his arm smashing the limo window open, that one episode of Nitro. So, you know, it's not fun to play with, kids. They all told him that he shouldn't do it, and he got miffed and upset that he couldn't do his glass spot, quote unquote. So he saved it for the Wembley show and did it as an FU to the company. And one of the most vocal people back there, I guess, was CM Punk, who basically told him, you know, look, if you want to go through glass, go on to the Wednesday night show and do that shit. This is, you know, Collision. Don't do that here, basically. So yeah, that was it. It was a rub back against CM Punk, who was already heated up backstage because of prior incidents backstage, which, you know, we can get into next week again. But this all led to when Jack Perry came backstage from finishing his match. You know, Punk asked him, "What the hell was that?" And Jack Perry said, "Why don't you do something about it?" So Punk proceeded to choke him until Samoa Joe broke it up. So that's what I'm assuming we're going to watch on the CCTV footage. There was a reason that he was fired, because he, and I quote Tony Khan here, he feared for his life backstage. Now, I don't know if we're going to see anything quite like that, but, you know, look.
It might be a little hyperbole.
Right. So that's why I say I'll reserve judgment until after I see it. But, you know, for those of you who are going to watch Dynamite on Wednesday night, you know, hang in there with us, folks. It's only one part of the story. So, having said that, I think we get into some WrestleMania. And I don't know if I want to cover all the results. Do you want to cover all the results? I don't know if we need to, but...
I don't know if we need to do all the results. I don't think there's a heck of a lot to say about Jey and Jimmy Uso, or certainly the Philadelphia street fight. I think we can maybe leave that off. I don't think our listeners tuned in to hear our recap of Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Jey versus Jimmy Uso. You know, if you're into super kicks, that's your match.
The only thing that made me laugh at that match was the crowd, because when they were going back and forth punching each other, when Jey punched, they'd say yeet. When Jey punched, they'd say no yeet. And it was this back and forth with the crowd, and it was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty. By the way, now that I know what yeet means, I'm going to use it in a sentence. Yeet. WrestleMania was good.
Yeah.
Now, is that how you do it, kids? Let me know in the comment section below. How am I supposed to be using yeet? Because I want to start using it as a word in my vocabulary every day now.
Please don't.
Anyways.
It was, you know, main event Jey Uso locking it down at 8:53 p.m. like he always does.
Yeah, main event. Mid-card Jey Uso. I'm sorry. And there's nothing wrong with Jey Uso. I like Jey Uso. But come on, don't give him a name like main event Jey Uso and then expect him to pull the mid-card and keep it relevant still. I don't know. That's just me. I'm silly. Anyways, night one opened up with Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, who I guess Becky Lynch had been battling strep throat all week. At one point, she had a 102-degree fever. So all things considered, this was pretty phenomenal of a match for someone to be having in that condition. And I could tell just looking at her face, you know, that night, something was awry, but, you know, yeah. I thought it was a pretty decent match. I expected Rhea Ripley to go over. This was one of the prediction matches that I got right off the bat, and I know that worried Kind Man quite a bit.
My back was against the wall after the first match. I couldn't lose another one.
That's right. Ali came out swinging
Yeah.
right off the bat, but yeah.
By the way, Rhea's entrance was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That was cool.
It was. It was really cool. I remember that was awesome. What was the next match, Kind Man? I've got a wrong order on my sheet, I think, because Gunther was not the next match.
I think it was the 6-pack ladder match.
Yes. Okay. So this is one that
I'm going by memory. I rewatched like the last 3 or 4 minutes of each match this morning just to kind of, do it with a clear head.
Okay. Okay. No, that's good.
See if I missed anything. I did not watch all of the match. I did not rewatch the whole show today, but I did watch most of the end of these matches. So
nice.
I believe, if I remember the order right, it was the 6-pack ladder match that came after.
And we don't have to do an order or anything, but it was just, Anyways, so Judgment Day versus DIY versus Awesome Truth versus New Catch Republic versus New Day versus A-Town Down Under. I got this one completely wrong. I didn't pick any of the winners. I don't think you did either, did you?
Oh, no, I got.
Oh, no, you did. That was where you picked up.
That was how I evened the score.
That's how you
quickly.
did. That's right. You picked Awesome Truth, and I don't know why I didn't pick them. I overlooked them because I didn't think anything was going to come of it. But
well, I think the story of this one was just there were so many rumors that Waller and Austin Theory were going to be replaced in this match. Up until like Friday SmackDown, I did not even think they were going to participate. So to have them, I thought that was the surprise of the night, is giving them a strap. I thought.
I did too. Yeah, most definitely.
Neither of us were going to pick that one.
No.
I think we both had DIY. I had DIY for 1. You had DIY for 2. But yeah, that match had some stuff going on.
Yeah, it did.
That was, Ciampa off the top of the ladder with a this body drop. Waller, he got his belt, but I'll tell you what, he paid for it after that.
He sure did. He took a dive.
There were some holy shit moments in that match. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, and it was. I thought I saw at one point one of the ladders it looked to me like it was already pre-broken. Much like a table would appear later on night 2, but we'll get to that. But yeah.
Well, one of the ladders, it was funny. Judgment Day Priest was going up the ladder.
Yeah.
And to grab the belt, and the referee grabbed his foot. It was a female and pulled him away.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck is going on here? And then I realized the other side of the ladder had completely buckled under.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't safe for him to go up it. So there were some ladder, table ladder and chair malfunctions. Oh my.
Yeah, there were a few technical malfunctions this WrestleMania, but overall,
when you push the envelope, these things happen.
Right. But I don't know what hardware store they're buying these tables and ladders from, but
the one that broke with Waller's back, that was real.
Yeah,
that was a real ladder breaking.
That was a painful looking ladder break.
That did not look like it. That if there was anything we saw in this WrestleMania, the reason why I was not a professional wrestler, it was Austin Theory eating the ladder.
In the age-old battle of man versus steel,
Waller eating the ladder, not Austin Theory.
Man has yet to lose, or steel has yet to lose. Is that how that goes? I think so.
Yeah.
So the next one we'll cover Jimmy versus Jey Uso. Again, we covered this one. We don't really want to talk about it. Yeet. Let me hit some knowledge on you kids for today. If you want to do better than this. Yeet. I don't know. Maybe I'm using that word wrong still.
Super kick splashes and
yeah. If you love super kicks, this is your match.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. And I don't think anybody really guessed who was going to win or lose this match since there were no titles on the line. Nothing really, major happened. It was kind of a standard match. I would expect to see this as a main event on SmackDown sort of thing. But it worked. It wasn't terrible.
Jade Cargill's introduction.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was. I was disappointed. I had kind of predicted that I felt like there was going to be some sort of Cargill versus Belair rift.
Yeah.
Even if they won, because I think that would be where they should set this up. But they were all smiles and hugs at the end, so I was disappointed.
Yeah, well, don't forget we have the Raw after Mania and the SmackDown after Mania, so
right.
Anything can still happen. I think they like to kind of stretch these things out a little bit, so there's still time.
But I mean, it's funny. I would have liked a little foreshadowing there. Like I found it fascinating as we get into one of the other matches that like they foreshadowed all this Carlito being pissed at them choosing different that Ray choosing a different partner twice and nothing happened there either. So they're doing a lot of foreshadowing that they're not delivering for some reason, but maybe that'll come after.
Right. Yeah, maybe that'll Raw. Like I said, Raw after Mania. We have SmackDown after Mania. We have a pay-per-view coming up. I don't know what the Backlash. So Backlash. Yeah. Plenty of opportunities yet. Like I said, WrestleMania is kind of the reset button, but there are still moving parts that need to be cleaned up. So, and that'll take us right into Rey Mysterio versus Andrade, and Santos Escobar versus Dominic. I really thought they were going to boo the hell out of Dominic, more so than they did, but it didn't seem like, they were, maybe it's just my perception, or maybe I was out of it during this match, but,
they generally boo him when he's talking. So I think that's where the really bad boos come. Okay. So, I mean, the actual wrestling.
Okay, I don't, not laying into him.
Really, yeah. Okay. And that was a pretty nondescript match. Yeah. We both picked that one wrong. We had Dominic. And
that's amazing.
Dominic and Santos.
Well, I suppose they had to have a spot for their football players to show up. That's what it was. That's their stupid spot. They had the stupid Philadelphia Eagles show up.
Well, did they have Eagles?
No offense to you Eagles fans.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What was his name? That Kelsey.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey, is that his name? Who was the other guy? I don't know who that is.
I think it probably Lane Johnson, I'm guessing, because he's another big offensive lineman for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey's actually a pretty good personality. He's got like the #1 podcast in the world right now.
Wow.
With his brother Travis Kelsey.
Who is dating Taylor Swift.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That might be one reason why they got the #1 podcast. No, it's actually a good podcast, but they're actually both have a lot of personality and are really interesting.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Kind Man's endorsement. Go check them out. After you've listened to ABW.
But they do not do their podcast in a Lucha Libre mask like they came to the ring.
That's right. Gother versus Sami Zayn. Some people are calling this the match of the night. And I can see why. It was a solid match, and it carried a lot of gravitas. There was a certain emotion at the end of this match that you felt for Sami having finally, gotten his hands on some singles gold at WrestleMania. And I think that's what it was all about. And I guess I just don't know where Gunther goes from here. Because his next main event opponent technically would be Damian Priest, but I guarantee you, Damian Priest still has to get it on with Drew McIntyre. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be a thing where I know it'll be Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. But where they go after that with I almost said Sheamus, where they go after that with Gunther in Germany when they do Berlin is up in the air. So It'll be interesting. And I think we even talked about this last night in our Discord channel, which you can join in the link down below to join the Discord channel and talk with us directly. We were talking about this last night, and it even feels like, you know, this is a completely different deal. It's nice to not know what's going to happen. And that was kind of the consensus. You know, it makes for a better product. The more we have to guess. But I'm done. I'm done going on my speed box. Anyways,
I thought it was a good match. The end when the announcers were calling for them to stop the match and Sami can't defend himself and all that stuff, and then he starts like rolling around in the ring, was a little bit too Hulk Hogan for me. You know, like getting hit and, you know, puffing his cheeks and walking around you know, like it was just more like, okay, give me more, you know, like that was a little too Hulk Hogan for me.
Right.
But what I did really enjoy was that brainbuster he pulled off the top. I thought was really cool. There's not too many moves you see these days that you haven't really seen before.
Yeah, I saw that. Will Ospreay did that in AEW on the last pay-per-view, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I saw it. I was surprised I saw it in a WWE ring, that turnbuckle brainbuster. But yeah,
that was a really cool move.
Yeah.
So I was happy for Sami. That was one of those things that you could tell how much that meant to him.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was Gunther's time. I think they said 666 days. If that was
ominous.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said when I heard Cole say that. It ends on the 666th day. I'm like, whoa, that's heavy.
Yeah. The devil himself. You're going to lose all your wrestling matches, Bobby Boucher. Wrestling is the devil. And finally, the main event of The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody, Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. For me, I thought this was the match of the night, only for the reason that I expected The Rock to not deliver, and instead, he came out swinging. He was taking the bumps. He was performing, you know, the moves. He was doing it. He went through a table, for God's sakes. God, what a great match.
Too.
What was that?
His entrance, I thought was really
his
cool.
entrance was great.
Yeah.
I didn't understand Seth Rollins' entrance.
Oh my God. Either one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, either one. Yeah, I didn't understand
the second one was worse.
Yeah, the Mardi Gras one.
Oh my God, what in the holy hell are they doing?
He's got like I don't know what the fuck that was. Like it was like a vagina on his neck or something.
They're in Philadelphia, and this is obviously the second night we're talking about now. But in Philadelphia, so there's no tie into New Orleans.
Right.
He's from freaking Davenport, Iowa.
Right.
That has nothing to do with Mardi Gras.
No.
It's just that the little band he had with him and everything, and God, the outfits he had in both days.
Yeah.
Like, glad you went 0-2.
Yeah.
Like, you put on.
Yeah. But anyways, I thought it was a great match. I thought the right person pinned the right person in the ring to set up WrestleMania Night 2. I can't complain. I mean, it wasn't a perfect match by any stretch of the imagination, but there were enough good heel spots. There were enough good heat spots in that match that made me want to see the second night of WrestleMania. And that was its goal. Yep. So, no fault. Loved it.
Yeah. No problems there. I'd say my biggest problem with night one was, I don't even remember who said it, but some jackass referred to Lil Wayne as the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah. What about that?
I almost fucking fell out of my chair. That is the most disgusting exaggeration. I was actually personally offended.
Wow.
I mean, not even top 50. I mean, don't refer to someone as the GOAT in anything if you're not even in that stratosphere. That was just offensive.
Yeah, and this especially when they had Snoop Dogg on the show.
Oh, well, see, I don't know if I put Snoop Dogg in my top 5, but I could tell you what, he's in the conversation.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
so,
not
so like that.
yeah,
Like you're gonna have Snoop Dogg there, you have Lil Wayne there, and you refer to Lil Wayne as the
the
GOAT.
greatest, right? Yeah, that's
Oh my God,
ridiculous.
like I mean, Snoop's not the GOAT either, but
Oh no,
it was
he's closer than Lil Wayne.
that is for goddamn sure. That is for goddamn sure. And by the way, he wasn't bad on commentary. Snoop, all right.
No, yeah, yeah,
He was no, it's fine. He was who he is, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
He's Snoop. You know what are you gonna do?
Yeah, Snoop.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fine. Anyways, um, night 2 saw Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship, and this went down almost exactly the way that I had predicted it.
Yep.
You know, Seth and Drew had a nice match, I thought. You know, it was back and forth. They did their thing. They did as much with whatever constraints they were being dealt because they were the opening match and you can't go busting shit up. But, yeah, great match. I love the CM Punk commentary and I love the CM Punk distraction. And I love the fact that after Drew won the title, he went over and taunted CM Punk, which then led to a beatdown, which then led to the Money in the Bank cash-in, which I thought was perfect. So,
Yeah, it's obviously it's written this way, but the irony of Drew McIntyre telling Seth he was letting somebody other than his big match distract him, all lead up to WrestleMania, and then he gets his moment, let someone else distract him.
yeah,
He did the exact same thing he'd been telling Seth Rollins not to do for the last month.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Did not
keep
heed
your
his
eye
own
on the prize,
advice.
dude. Keep your eye on the prize.
That's right. I don't know what to tell you, homie.
Yep.
But so that was good. I liked that a lot. I thought that was a great moment. And by the way, Damian Priest kind of deserved that. Kind of, he did deserve it because dude worked his ass off. So happy for him. Happy for the Judgment Day, who do not appear as though they are breaking up anytime soon. But I could be wrong. Friction may still exist, but who knows?
My wonderful prediction of WrestleMania, it's going to be a bad 2 nights for the Judgment Day. I was so on right there, huh?
Hey, you know, look, you were more right than I was in the end.
Yeah, I guess, but no, I mean, I guess McDonough had a bad night. They did lose both tag team belts, so that's not great. Dominic lost, but now Rhea and Damian are the head of the table.
Yeah, co-champions, which I suppose could lead into sort of a power struggle betwixt the two, because who's the real leader of the Judgment Day, which has been a question posed, you know, for the last month and month and month. So few months, yeah. But anyways.
But I do think this might be the end of JD McDonough.
Yeah, I kind of hope so. I don't like JD McDonough.
It's just if you're gonna say you're the most dominant faction,
yeah,
you know, sports entertainment, you can't have someone that loses every match.
Yeah, that's what Dominic is there for.
Yeah, exactly.
Let the man have his job.
Yeah.
Telling you. Anyways, up next, we had the Pride versus Final Testament. The less we say about this, the better. This was just a nothing match, street fight. Stupid.
Can I say one thing about it?
Sure.
Can we just all agree that the kendo stick is overrated?
Yeah.
I've just had enough of the kendo stick. It doesn't do anything.
It makes a loud noise, is what it does.
Yeah, but it's like when they act like it's actually hurting somebody, it's painful to me. Like, get rid of the kendo stick. I'm done with it.
Yeah. They became popular when the whole Singapore caning issue was alive in the mid-90s, but yeah, any more of these days, they're just a bygone product of a bygone era. Get rid of them. Steel in a chair hurts, folks.
Yes. Ladders, tables.
Ladders. tables, right? The ring bell, anything you can think
Yes.
of. Just not a fucking kendo stick. All right. Up next, we had LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I don't know. This was just a kind of a meh for me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I did not. I thought that match had so much potential.
It did.
And it just didn't deliver.
It did not.
Like the big, one of the big moments is, a back body drop on the cement. Like
Right.
that's what I remember from this match.
Right.
And him barely, beating the 10 count. Like that's the signature. AJ is too good an athlete to not make me remember that. He should have made me remember something more.
Yeah.
Between the two of them.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think this mainly, and part of it, I just think that they made it so that both of these good personalities were so angry at each other that they weren't putting on a show.
Right.
Like the storytelling of just how mad they were at each other took both of their personalities out of the match.
Yeah.
And it fell flat.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that assertion. I don't have anything to say about that match. I want to go back really quick though to a factoid on the Pride versus Final Testament match. Apparently, that was Precious Paul Ellering's very first WrestleMania. Can you believe that shit?
No, that would be a surprise to me.
Yeah, I know. So there you go. Up next, we had Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Sami Zayn caught Kevin Owens in the hallway before his entrance to give him a pep talk the same way that Owens did Sami the night before. And it didn't work, unfortunately.
I will give credit to one of our friends on Discord, Hawkeye, where he, for a quote, he said, it's just Logan Paul is just a natural. And he really is.
Yeah.
I mean, the height on that frog splash that ended this match, like that was really impressive.
He caught some air. Yeah.
Yeah. And but by the way, one of the other things that this WrestleMania was the biggest of all time was brand promotion.
Oh my God.
Jesus, like I wouldn't have been surprised if instead of the kendo stick, they were hitting each other with Slim Jims. During the match. Because between Logan Paul's thing, actually one of the matches that was sponsored by Auto Shield, the white board with the Auto Shield logo actually made it blended in with the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And it made it very difficult to see, like it just wasn't a good visual.
Yeah.
And so there was just so much with the brand placement and I get it. This is your big event, and these people paid money to be advertisers, but I don't need the rehydration station at the corner of the ring.
What about dude wipes? On
wipes,
Io Sky versus Bailey's match.
Yeah, no, dude wipes. And then what was the other one? They changed it for one match. Maybe it was Slim Jim for one match.
It was Slim Jim for a match. Then it was dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Give me a fucking break.
Hey, listen, they as advertisers got their money's worth.
And what was the name of that piss water vodka they were trying to sell to us all night? Wheatley. So nice, I drink it neatly.
Oh,
Jiminy Christmas. Anyways, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about Io Sky versus Bailey. This is where everything came tumbling down for me. I really thought that Io Sky was going to retain, and that Damage Control was going to be basically like a four horseman type group that run roughshod with all the titles, but I was wrong. So Bayley gets her moment, and I guess that's fine. I didn't think this was a great match either. I was kind of like in floating mode. And I don't know if that's because, and maybe this is not fair, I don't know if that's because I was just waiting to see Roman Reigns versus Cody, or if that match was just kind of meh. I don't know.
I thought there were some good moments in the match. I think Io had a really cool reversal on one of Bayley's finishers near the end.
Yeah.
She ultimately landed a minute later to end the match. Io Sky is okay. She's she's a high flyer. She did one where she did a moonsault off the second rope, then straight back up to the top rope and did another one. And she's good. But I mean Bayley, what's her moves? A Bayley to belly suplex? Like that's that's not overly exciting.
Yeah.
We'll say this from our wager perspective, watching this match, there was never a moment I thought Bayley was losing. Like there was no point in the match. General, like maybe when Io put her in a finisher in the middle of the ring and pretty much locked it in, but it just seemed like I knew what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
Every step of that match, and I knew Bayley was going to ultimately win. So it was a very comfortable match for me that decided our championship.
Yeah, which I lost, by the way. Spoiler alert.
Well, out of 14 matches, so I went 9-5. You went 8-6. But only 3 matches in the whole 2-night event did we have different picks, which was very unique, especially to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it really came down to 3 matches. You won with Rhea Ripley, and then, as I said, then I was sitting there, and if I didn't win both other matches, you would retain. And if you think about the tag team 6-pack ladder match, Waller, in theory, won the belt. Okay, so now I only have 1 point even available to me. So if any of those other 5 teams get that second belt, I lose after 2 matches.
And they were the first 2 matches of the show.
Yeah, the only thing I could do would be to tie you by winning Bayley, and tie does not go to the challenger.
Yeah, no. But
so the fact that R-Truth figured out after trying to pin people earlier in the match, figured out that he had to climb the ladder to get the damn belt.
He cracked my shit up.
Oh, he's funny.
I love R-Truth. Cracked my shit up. And he deserved his championship win, by the way. I'm glad he got it. Up last, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And this was the big cheese, the main event, the whole enchilada. We had a lot of cameos, so to speak, a lot of former WWE champions and legends show up to get Cody's back, so to speak, throughout this challenge on the Bloodline.
The Bloodline rules.
Yeah. So we got appearances by, who do we get appearances by? A whole bunch of people.
Cena.
John Cena came out. Yeah.
Seth Rollins made another limping appearance.
He did, as the Shield.
As the Shield.
And that didn't last long.
Obviously, The Rock came in. Solo interfered. Solo was the one that began the interference.
Yeah, didn't Jimmy? I thought Jimmy was the one who began it.
Okay, maybe Jimmy.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing Jimmy for long, because I watched like the last 10 minutes of the match today, and I never saw Jimmy.
Yeah, well, they did a quickie up the top of the ramp when they, jumped off the ramp with each other.
Oh, that's right.
So,
okay, yeah. And then, obviously, for whom the bell tolls, The Undertaker.
That's right.
A night appearance and choke slam The Rock.
That's right. He said GTFO.
I would have preferred a different version of The Undertaker there, and I would have preferred a tombstone. But
well,
I was happy to hear the bell.
Right. The gong, as it is. Yeah. No, it was a cool moment. I said it last night, and after reflection, I still feel the same way. I still think it was overbooked. I think there was way too much going on at the ass end that made it kind of made it feel very Vince-like. And that's something that it soured me a little bit, but not enough to not enjoy the rest of the night or the main event.
I loved it. I thought it was, the only thing I didn't really, I'm not sure I know the tie-in because Cena made sense, right?
Yeah, the Solo.
Cena came in when Solo came in,
Yep.
because and Solo hurt Cena. Was there something at the end between The Rock and the Undertaker? I mean, I know they faced numerous times at WrestleMania, all that stuff. But did they have some sort of beef? Because like the Undertaker's face was like pissed.
Yeah, I don't really, I can't remember, right? I know they faced off a bunch of times, but I don't remember.
That was the only one I didn't know that it was that overbooked, because all the other ones, Seth coming down as the Shield completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Cena coming after Solo when he's interfering makes sense.
It would have made more sense if it was Stone Cold.
Would it make more sense if it was Stone Cold?
No, I said it would have made more sense if it was Stone Cold.
Oh, instead of the Undertaker.
Instead of the Undertaker, yeah.
Correct. That yes. That would have been but the problem is he can't come down. I think they needed someone to show up and disappear, and Stone Cold can't do that. And then maybe that's why they used the Undertaker.
Yeah. Where did the Undertaker take The Rock?
What's that?
Where did the Undertaker take The Rock?
Well, he just chokeslammed him and then disappeared.
Yeah, but The Rock disappeared too. So you
assume... The Rock rolled out of the ring.
Oh, did he? Okay. I just assumed The Rock disappeared with the Undertaker. It was a supernatural
He was
thing.
There. Actually, let me tell you, from watching it clear-headed today, can I tell you my absolute favorite moment of match? Oh my God! Just is after it was over, okay, and they pan to the wise man like helping Roman Reigns and The Rock. Okay, so it's the three of them, and they're getting ready to walk up the ramp. And Charles Robinson takes The Rock's Mama Rhodes belt, okay, and comes through the road to like give it to The Rock, like he's giving him back his belt,
the championship.
Oh my God! And The Rock just looks at him, and he just looks stone cold scared. Like Charles Robinson had one of those big faces, like, oh my God, what did I do? And Charles Robinson just scurries back into the ring. I thought it was to me, it was the moment of the night. I thought it was hysterical that Charles Robinson in that moment felt the need to go give The Rock his Mama Rhodes lifting belt. Classic Charles Robinson. That's why you can't have The Rock as a special guest referee. You need the.
I was really hoping The Rock would be the special guest ref, but yeah, that didn't pan out either.
I would have thought that would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because what they didn't do was really say what bloodline rules were. So they basically, it was just there are no rules.
Right. Yeah. More or less.
And obviously, I think that would have made it a lot harder for Cody if The Rock is the one counting, unless he flips. Well, but obviously he would get hurt, and they'd have to bring Charles Robinson in at the end.
Somebody has to make sense of all this mess.
Yeah. So that was.
But anyways, that is WrestleMania, and I, despite how I might feel, and look, just because I say the main event, was a little overbooked, doesn't mean I didn't like it. I still enjoyed it. It didn't detract, terribly from what I saw, but I gotta call it like I see it. So, it's still, I would still give this WrestleMania 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I might even go to 4.5.
You might go to 4.5. Okay.
The only maybe I'm 4 out of 5 too. I think the only reason is that they just put some matches that nobody cared.
Yeah.
That was probably the thing for me. Why do you have to have a Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi. Why can't you find a tag team to put belts on the line?
Yeah.
Why does Dakota Kai have to be a part of that? It's, and then, Philadelphia Street Fight, like, nobody cares, guys. I mean, this is like,
yeah,
time to go pee when these are coming on. And so that, from that perspective, I would have liked a couple more main event type matches than fillers.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem with it.
Yeah. And I think night 2 had more filler than night 1. But I mean,
well, I don't, because if you look at it, it's Rhodes versus Reigns, McIntyre versus Rollins, Bayley versus Io. Those all, and the United States Championship. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4 belts. And then then LA Knight versus AJ Styles, although it wasn't a great match, it's.
I'm thinking of I'm sorry, I think on night 1.
Yeah, night 1 didn't. I mean, because you had 4
Jimmy
straight
and Jay
champion.
and Bianca Belair, Rey Mysterio, yeah, all those.
Yeah.
Aye. But so you're going a solid 4 out of 5 as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go with that.
Very good. Very good. I'm glad that you were able to. I'm so glad we were able to do this show because, I mean, God, I just enjoy it. I really enjoy this product. I enjoy professional wrestling, and I hope that we are here to give you content for a very long time. So thank you guys so much for sticking out with us and having a great, fantastic WrestleMania weekend. Next time on ABW, Kind Man's Top 5 High Flyers of all time. I'm looking forward to that. I love me some high flyers. I can't wait to see what your list looks like, buddy.
It's a great list. This was probably one of my favorite lists I've done.
Nice.
Still working on the order and but it's, it's a good one.
Nice. I can't wait for that. Plus, I'll be giving you the State of the Union for AEW Professional Wrestling and where I think they need to fix a couple of things, make a couple of tweaks. But that's all time for next time. We want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Please consider dropping an elbow on that like button. And then frog splash over to that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. And please share our channel with other people you think might like this sort of thing because it helps us grow and helps you get more content. Once again, thank you all so much. We'll see you next time. Take care and fuck Red Dirt.
Have a nice day.